Hi crochet friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm Stefania and today I thought we would do something new. This week is my birthday week and as you might have seen in the title, I'm bored with my hair. I've been growing it out for a number of years at this point while giving it an occasional trim at home. I really love the length of my hair, but I'm looking to add some color to switch things up. I picked up some semi-permanent dyes at the store, but I won't be doing that here in my guest/craft room, so let's head on over to the bathroom. Welcome to my bathroom. On the counter in front of me, I've got the hair dye, a bowl, a paintbrush, some foil, some gloves, and some extra towels just in case. The only thing left I need to do is make sure I don't get any hair dye on my nice shirt, so I'll be right back. Now that that's taken care of, we can get started with the hair dye. My hair is quite long, so you can't even really see all of it in frame, but I'm planning on just dyeing a little bit of the tips to make sure I like the color before I commit to going further up. I won't be coloring my full head of hair. I'll probably only go up to about here or so. Since I have a blue and a purple, I'm going to mix the two, but also do some just blue, some just purple. I don't know, I'm just gonna play around with it and see what happens. I'm going to start by just combing my hair and splitting it into some better sections. For the test piece, I'm going to just take the smallest bit and dye just the very end. That way, if I don't like the way it looks, I can just cut it off. I'm just getting half of my hair out of the way. In a little messy bun of sorts. Now with this other half, I'm also going to take most of it out of the way, leaving a small section in the back. I don't know why I'm treating this like a tutorial. I really don't know what I'm doing here. Hopefully that'll stay out of the way enough, and we can just work with this little piece. It's time for gloves. And now for the color. I think I'm gonna just pour a little bit of this purple into the bowl. Okay, it's a lot thicker than I was expecting it to be. And I also want to add a bit of blue so that we can test both colors. Alrighty, here we go. Now the instructions didn't say anything about using foil, but I'm going to go ahead and do so just to keep things a little more neat. Okay, and just using my little paintbrush here, I'm going to paint on some purple. Okay, I think I'll do purple on that little bit at the bottom, and then work some blue just above it. And I'll kind of blend them in the middle. Okay, I've got my three colors, and now I just need to let this sit for an hour. So I'll see you in just a couple moments, and we'll see how this color turns out. Alrighty, I'm back and it's been about an hour, so I'm going to take this out, give it a rinse, and see how it looks. So it's a little hard to see because the hair is still wet, and since I'm not super blonde, it's only going to be a slight tint. But it definitely worked. The blue is a little bit darker than I thought it was going to be, but I think this purple color is really pretty. Where I tried to blend them in between, it doesn't look like it made much of a difference, so I think I'm going to go ahead with just the solid colors. So let's get working on the rest of my head. I am going to dye the same strand again, just because I'm going to have each strand be a singular color, and I want this one to blend in a bit more. Since blue is the darker color, I'm going to make this one blue. I've wanted to put color in my hair since I was a teenager, But I was always told to wait in case I got a job where that wasn't allowed. Now that I'm turning 33, I have a bit more wisdom and autonomy, so I decided now's the time and I'm going to put color in my hair. In my mid-20s, I worked as a receptionist at a hair salon, so I suppose I should have done fun colors then, but I was in my blonde phase at that time. I just realized I took my other glove off and didn't put that back on. There we go. As you can tell, I don't really know what I'm doing. Let me try to think back to my salon days. Oh, this is not working. Okay, I'm getting a little overwhelmed with the foils and trying to part everything, so I'm gonna take a step back and reevaluate my technique here. I think what I'm gonna do, since I want most of it purple but just a little bit blue, I'm going to first take the blue sections and foil with those, and then take the rest and cover them with purple. Maybe that'll work better, but we'll find out. I just feel myself getting a little too overwhelmed with this whole situation. So yeah, let's hope that that's an easier way of doing it. Put those behind me, along with this blue section. Oh gosh. Did I mention I'm not a professional? At least there's no bleach or peroxide in this color, so I'm not really damaging my hair, I'm basically just staining it. Okay, I changed my mind already. I need to take these foils out. If you have experience dyeing your own hair, feel free to yell at me in the comments below. Okay, I'm already feeling a little less overstimulated with the foils out. So let's just have some fun with it. It's just a semi-permanent dye after all, so if I don't like it, I only have to live with it for a couple of weeks. Okay, I've got two little sections of blue on this side, so I'm going to go ahead and do the rest in purple. You might be able to hear in my voice that I'm getting over a bit of a cold. It's pretty poor timing with my birthday being tomorrow, and it means that I can't exactly do what I wanted. I'd planned on having a nice day out, with some shopping, some tasty meals, and maybe even going to a museum. But I don't want to expose anyone else to the sickness that I'm dealing with, so I've decided that my partner and I are just going to have a low-key day and maybe go to a nice nature park for a walk. It'll really depend on my energy levels, though. But today I'm already feeling a lot better than I did yesterday, so I'm hopeful that I'll be able to still go out and enjoy my special day. Okay, this technique is working a lot better. I have my two little foils of blue and the rest of purple. I'm not sure why I decided to go the messy route, but we're here now. I'm just gonna drop these purple ends into a piece of foil here. That's gonna get absolutely dirty. But I have more gloves, so I think I'm just gonna swap these actually. Because next I have to take down the other side of my hair, and I don't want to dye the whole head. Clean off any dye that's on the outside of that foil. And now we can work on the next side. So I think for the next blue section, I want one out of here. Maybe a bit bigger than that. It's difficult having such fine hair because even if I take a larger section up here, by the time it gets to the end, there's not all that much hair left. Gloves. I know it's not a sentiment that a lot of people have, but I'm actually really excited to be getting older. This year, I started spotting a couple of random gray hairs on my head, and honestly, it makes me really happy. A lot of people are scared of aging and feeling old, but even when I was in high school, I remember looking forward to just being a little old lady sitting on her rocking chair and enjoying retirement. I can't wait to be looking back on my life and remembering all the exciting things I did, like dye my hair in a YouTube video. Now don't get me wrong, I still have a lot of life left to live, a list of places I want to see, and lots of things that I want to do with my life. But I don't see aging as this scary thing that we really need to be afraid of or try to prevent. I see wrinkles as proof that we've lived a good life. I want to be able to see myself actually age. There's a lot of pressure put on us women to keep looking young and fit and thin and perfect and like dolls. But we're humans. We have our own lived experiences. Our bodies tell the story of the rich lives that we've lived. I understand that some people see aging as their opportunities slipping away from them and time passing by. But I'm really trying to live the life that I want to live so that I can age gracefully and look back without any regrets. Already in 33 years, I feel like I've seen a lot and done a lot with my life, and there's a lot more to do. I recognize that I'm quite privileged to have been able to do so, but I've seen so many different countries and even have moved abroad. I don't really live with any regrets, and even if there are some things I wish had gone differently, I know that they happened for a reason, and all of those choices have led me to this moment right here, right now. I know I'm getting pretty sappy and philosophical for a video about me dyeing my hair, but it's something, like I said, that I've been wanting to do for so many years, and I just let something stopped me. But like I've been saying, I'm living the life that I want to live now, which includes adding some fun colors to the ends of my hair. I think I've got it all covered now, so I'm gonna let it sit for another hour before I rinse it out, and I'll check back in soon. Well, I'm back, and I have to admit it's not the same day I dyed my hair. It's actually the day after my birthday now, meaning that I'm officially a 33-year-old lady. I was dyeing my hair on the day before my birthday, but by the end of the day I had just run out of energy and could only rinse out the color and call it a day. I really liked the result that I got, but it didn't go up quite high enough. So on the morning of my birthday, I actually woke up early and added even more purple to my hair. So I'll stop delaying the reveal and show you how it turned out. You can see it's kind of a subtle color difference, but it's definitely purple at the end. After the first round of dyeing my hair, just the tips were purple, and I liked the color, so I wanted even more of it. I'm really glad that I went back and added more, because this is the look that I was trying to achieve. When I was done adding color to my hair, there was a bit of purple dye left in the bowl, so I decided to experiment and I threw in some white yarn to see what would happen. I ended up with this beautiful lavender color, and it's just enough so I can make a little flower, similar to the ones from my 100 and 200 subscriber specials. I was hoping that it would be a better color match for my hair, but of course my hair isn't white, so it was never going to be exact. I suppose I should have really grabbed some brown yarn and dyed that instead. But I'm planning on making a little hair accessory so I can have a cute flower in my hair and purple tips. I wasn't originally planning on sharing much about my birthday during this video, but I had such a lovely day at a nature park and I took some short clips that I'd like to share with you here. Since I'm still getting over a cold, my partner and I found a nice nature park where we could walk around and enjoy the day outside. I found this lovely park that wasn't too far away that has an old railroad bridge that's been converted into a walking bridge. Our path started in the forest, then we crossed over the bridge, made our way through some flatlands, and ended up walking through kind of a swampy area. The sun was shining, the wind was blowing, and there were so many birds chirping. Even though I wasn't feeling 100%, it was the perfect way to spend a relaxing birthday. There were also a lot of butterflies flying about, some of which blended into the leaves when their wings were folded. Can you spot this one before it flies away? We brought along a picnic with us to have a light lunch. Then when we got home, I spent some time on my Stardew Valley farm before we ordered some vegan sushi for dinner. While it wasn't the most exciting birthday that I've ever had, it was the exact day that I wanted to have this year. Hopefully when I'm feeling better, we can revisit the other birthday ideas I had. But my partner knows me well and knows that as long as there's some nature in my day, it's going to be a good one. Thanks for joining me on my birthday celebration and for watching till the end of the video. If you liked this video, make sure you leave a like and subscribe to my channel. It really helps me out a lot. I make new videos every week, including crochet tutorials, check-in videos, and other craft content. I know this video was a bit of a deviation away from my usual content, but if you liked this kind of video, leave a comment letting me know. Join me next week while I recap what I've been making during the 100-day project all the way up to day 50. If you have any ideas for other videos you'd like to see, leave any suggestions in the comments down below. I absolutely love the way my hair turned out, and I can't believe it took me so long to add some color to it. But I won't leave with any regrets, and I hope you don't either. Just learn the lesson with me that if there's something you want to do in your life and there's no safety concerns, then just go ahead and do it. We only have one life to live, so let's live it up to our fullest. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!